My name's Jocelyn. I'm the manager of the Student Wellness Centre at the University of Saskatchewan campus. We're going to talk today about what it takes to create a healthy mind. So a number of years ago, the University of Saskatchewan created our wellness strategy, and the wellness strategy was divided into three main pieces: healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy life. We provided some information about resources available on the different campuses. We talked about the importance of being active, about being aware of your financial stresses, about academic stresses, and what it means for your functioning day to day. What we didn't do is provide some really concrete information about what it takes to have a healthy mind. Luckily, Dr. Daniel Siegel, a psychiatrist at UCLA, created this tool a few years ago to talk about what is essential in terms of our brain health. So you might remember back a few years ago, or many years, the Canada Food Guide was a pyramid, and it was very prescriptive in what it told us to eat and the numbers of servings a day of different foods. It wasn't overly helpful in terms of making food choices, and it also wasn't culturally relevant. So they recreated the food guide 3 to 4 years ago to split it up and to show us the importance of healthy food choices. So when you go to the Canada Food Guide now, you'll see there is a range. There's descriptions, there's also recipes. So you actually have the tools that you need in order to make those healthy choices. Daniel Siegel took that same sort of change and looked at what it takes to create a healthy mind. And he came up with 7 major categories. And we've talked about these before in our wellness strategy and in other information that our peer health program has put out for students. The first is sleep time. We know students struggle with sleep. We know staff and faculty struggle with sleep too. We know the recommendation is 6 to 8 hours a night to let your brain recharge and to be able to decompress and to be able to absorb information the next day. We also know many of our students, staff, and faculty don't get those 6 to 8 hours of sleep. So it's something that is really important when we're talking about the connections within our brain and our ability to process new information. To try to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. It's more beneficial than cramming for exams or doing that extra reading well into the night. Your brain will function better with it. Another thing that they looked at was the importance of physical time. So we often talk about, the importance of having 20 to 30 minutes of aerobic activity 2 to 3 times a week. He's saying every day you should be moving your body. We know the impacts of sedentary lifestyles. We know how it impacts our health to sit at our desks or sit at our computers for many hours. It doesn't necessarily need to be 20 to 30 hours a week, but it should be aerobic, and you need to get up and move your body. That's an essential nutrient for your brain. They also talk about focus time, so taking that time to really dig into something. It's not necessarily reading a textbook, but it might be something more like playing your guitar or finding some sort of hobby or something to do with your hands where you really focus in, and that's great for the connections in our brain. They also talk about the importance of time in, being alone and spending time without all of the external stimuli that we are experiencing, so having that quiet and how important that is. They also talk about the importance of downtime, so it's a bit similar, but allowing your mind to wander and to actually be bored. And I know many students and children struggle with being bored, but it's a really important way for us to be innovative and creative, and it doesn't involve any of this. So we talk about putting that phone down and getting rid of, stopping all the scrolling and stopping, reading social media, and just taking, even if it's 10 to 15 minutes a day of being quiet and reflective. Again, it's important for the connections in our brain. So he also talks about the importance of playtime. Are you having fun every day? Can you take even 10, 15 minutes to go outside and find someone to connect with and move your body and find something that's fun to do? Find something that you really enjoy and that you can laugh and that brings you some level of happiness. It's a really important thing, connecting almost with your inner child to find something that you enjoy in that way. They also talk about the importance of connection. So we're wired for connection. Even the introverts, I know this might be hard to believe, but as humans, we're wired to connect with each other and in person. So even though throughout COVID we've connected in different ways virtually, it really is important to have that face-to-face time, even if it's masked, ideally outdoors, but to connect with another human and to find things to do together in ways of relating. It also means connecting with nature. So again, as humans, we're wired to do that. Sometimes we forget. We spend a lot of time indoors, especially in places like Saskatoon in the winter, but we need to get out there. Again, it's another essential nutrient for a healthy mind.